Hi and welcome to my channel. In this video I'd like to explore all the reasons why completely sealed terrariums do not work. In the last 10 years I've seen a lot of videos here on YouTube about completely sealed terrariums. Sadly, a lot of them have been from people I thought had a good amount of knowledge about their subject. Turns out they don't. Before I go on to the sciencey bit and explain why they don't work, let me make the factual statement that it is pretty improbable that a completely sealed terrarium would be feasible. You don't have to have a PhD in chemistry to understand these reasons. You just need an understanding in basic mathematics, and I'm not even talking about high school level. Now that's out of the way, let's get into the science bit, and I think we should start with the elephant in the room, David Latimer. Sorry, David. For the record, Mr. Latimer is not an elephant, but he does own a lovely terrarium full of Tradescantia topped with a cork lid that doesn't fit anymore, allowing the exchange of gases into the container. In fact, it probably never did fit properly from day one when the bung was greased up and thrust into the opening. The grease will have degraded over a short period of time, leaving the slightest entry for gases. Excellent terrarium, but not completely sealed. Let's look at what happens when you do hermetically seal a terrarium and leave it to do its thing. Without getting too deep and discussing such things as nutrients, microfauna and bacteria, we can establish that it would fail just by looking at two things. Number 1, carbon. Number 2, hydrogen. Two elements that are used up by plants and mosses during photosynthesis. Here's a quick refresher for those of you who have forgotten how it works, and a lesson for those that just don't know. Photosynthesis is the process plants use to turn light energy into carbohydrates, or simple sugars, along with carbon dioxide and moisture, either from the root system in vascular plants or through the leaves in non-vascular plants like mosses. The leftover material, luckily for us, is oxygen, which the plant, tree or moss expels. We do repay the plants by breathing in this oxygen and expelling carbon dioxide ourselves, which is a brilliant system. And now you've been reminded how it all works, you should have already figured out that the sugars made by the plant in the form of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen don't go back into the sealed container. They help the plant with maintenance and growth along with nutrients, etc. And if they don't go back into the atmosphere and the plants keep using those elements, then at some point in time as the plant grows, the carbon and hydrogen will run out and we end up with a standoff. In nature, carbon is replenished by decomposing matter and the waste gases that all animals breathe out. In a completely sealed container we have a problem. As the plant attempts to photosynthesize, or eat to put it very simply, there is nothing left for dinner. Thus, the plant starves and starts to die. At the same time this is happening, the lack of hydrogen is causing the atmosphere to dry up, because there are not enough hydrogen atoms to create water, so the plant dies even faster. Once the plant has died and decomposed, probably causing horrific mold breakouts if there is still enough moisture, the carbon and hydrogen returns to the system to be used once again. The strongest of the plant life may continue to live on, and even grow as the other plants die off, but eventually the same thing will happen to them until you're left with nothing more than a jar of dirt and rocks. This jar of dirt and rocks fascinates a lot of people, including myself, but it's not a terrarium. It is a biome, or ecosphere, as a lot of people seem to term it these days. So please, next time you see a video of someone making a completely sealed terrarium, take it with a pinch of salt. They're just clickbaiting you with the improbable. Thanks for watching.